I don't have an audience large enough really to be canceled. Um, I don't know, maybe if this video goes viral, then I will be, and I'll get hate comments. But what's going on, guys? Today is Saturday when I'm making this video. I didn't want to upload it today because I just thought it would be too soon. But earlier today, Jo Lindler, commonly known as Joe Aesthetics, passed away, and I wanted to make a video about him, and just really one really important thing that I want to get across to you guys. So, I mean, I'll put up pictures of him on the screen, but anybody who's seen any of his videos knows that this dude was an absolute unit, a specimen. At only 30 years old, you know, he was extremely shredded 365 days out of the year, 366 on leap years. And he died of what is right now reportedly a brain aneurysm, which is when your blood vessels in your brain, they get, like if a balloon's just getting like pumped up, and eventually like it explodes. So he passed this morning, and you know, I want to keep this video brief and short. So there's so many things to say. He helped, he impacted millions of people, motivated millions to start a fitness journey of their own. He helped people like me who have already been in working out, getting in the gym, getting after it. He helped people like me, learn how to actually move the lifts, do these movements for maximum contraction. And because, I haven't been lifting 10 years. I'm still newer. I'm only 2 years in. And, from beginners, day one, to people who are elite lifters, he provided everybody the good laugh. He made funny videos. But what I really want to get across in this video is the importance of where you're at spiritually. See, this guy was an incredible physique. Every single person that watched his videos, every single gym bro, guys, every single one of us, I'm not gonna lie. I wish that I had a physique similar to his. But there is a scripture verse. So, in the scriptures, there is a verse, 1 Timothy 4:18. I'd encourage you to check it out yourself. 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 8 says, we'll go to verse 7 for context purposes. It says, "But have nothing to do with worldly fables fit only for old women. On the other hand, discipline yourself for the purpose of godliness." This is verse 8. "For bodily discipline is only of little profit, but godliness is profitable for all things, since it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. It is a trustworthy statement deserving full acceptance." Verse 9. So, what's my point in all of this? Jo Lindler had an incredible physique. I think it's safe to say that he put his entire life and his entire purpose in life was to attain an incredible physique, to reach people on the internet, on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and I think one of his goals was to become an IFBB pro. So he had an incredible bodily discipline. This guy, he suffered from hunger problems. He's always very open about his steroid use and things that he was going through. So everything that I'm saying, I'm not speculating here. He suffered from hunger problems. He drank a lot of coffee, which has caffeine in it, and caffeine will reduce your hunger, so you won't be as hungry. So this guy, he suffered and went through a lot to look the way he did. And now, where is he? I'm not saying this to try to tear down his name or to make you think less of him. I'm saying this to encourage you so you guys don't make the same mistake as he did. Because, guys, look, there is the verse says bodily discipline is only of little profit. Okay, it's of little profit, but I mean, the Bible doesn't say don't work out. Okay, if it did, I wouldn't be here working out, making fitness videos. There's a lot of things that you can learn in, working out. Okay, it's good for you, it's healthy, you can look better, be more confident. I mean, it helps you physically and mentally, you learn consistency, you learn discipline, but it's not the right kind of discipline. It says, godliness is profitable for all things. Bodily discipline is only of little profit. So, I think that my main point in all of this whole video is just to say that Jo Lindler was, he was the definition of this verse. For bodily discipline is of little profit, but godliness is profitable for all things. And this is the important part that I want you guys to hear. It says, is profitable for all things, since it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. Okay, so whether I don't know what your guys' beliefs are, what you guys put your faith in, whether it's Christianity, Catholicism, atheism, if you're Muslim, any of that stuff. But this is the truth. Okay, and I don't have an audience large enough really to be canceled. I don't know, maybe if this video goes viral, then I will be, and I'll get hate comments. But Christianity is the truth, and there is no other truth. There isn't room. There is no such thing as multiple different truths for different people. There aren't multiple paths to heaven. There's only one. And there are a lot of people that believe there are. There are a lot of people that believe that you just have some form of faith, you're going to get to heaven. But you can only get to heaven through Christ, through his sacrifice and salvation, and if you put your whole faith and trust in him. So, my message to you guys through this video is, yes, keep working out. If you guys want to be shredded and stuff and like look good and diet down, then do that. Okay, I'm all for that. That's awesome. But it cannot come before your relationship with God, because look at Joe. He has an amazing physique. But right now, I'm posting this on Monday. What's it going to look like in a week from now, in 2 weeks from now, in a year from now? It's going to be underground or cremated into dust. If it's cremated, that incredible physique that he spent his life building is going to be gone in an instant. If he gets buried, that physique, it's going to stay there maybe for a couple weeks. I don't even know what the body decomposition process is, but in 1 year, it's going to be rotting, disgusting, gone. Okay? Like, this is so important to know, because you can look like you can be C-Bum. And one thing, if C-Bum stopped training right now, yeah, he'd still have the muscle for longer, but it would eventually be gone. C-Bum died too right now, his muscle would be gone within a few weeks. And what's it worth? Yes, Jo Lindler left a legacy here for people, and is going to continue to motivate them through his videos. And as long as the internet's around, he's going to be around, pretty much. But his spirit isn't here. So, I would just encourage you guys to think about the things that I'm saying and to put your faith and trust in God. Don't put your whole life and identity into the gym, because that isn't what it's worth. Okay? Yeah, it can be cool with having a nice body here on this life, but our main focus should be on the life to come, because the life to come is eternal and forever. This life, 100 years at, peak, the very best. Okay, maybe 101. Okay, but on average, 70, 80. 80 years compared to eternity is smaller than 1 pixel on this screen that you're seeing here compared to the whole thing. You know, this is a tiny example of that. It's one drop in the ocean, in an unlimited ocean, because eternity never ends. So just know where you're at spiritually with God. And that is of like literally top utmost importance. I'd like to end this video with 2 sections of scripture, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys listen, because it really does mean a lot to me if you do. First is Romans chapter 3 verse 23, a short verse which says, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." So that means every single one of you guys watching this video, including me, whether you think you're a good person, whether you think you're an awful person, you have fallen short of God's glory and have sinned. And if you sinned, that means that you're not worthy of going to heaven. Then, second part I want to read, Romans chapter 5, verses 6 through 10, which says, "For while we were still helpless, at the right time Christ died for the ungodly. For one will hardly die for a righteous man, though perhaps for the good man someone would dare even to die. But God demonstrates his own love toward us, in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. Much more then, having now been justified by his blood, we shall be saved from the wrath of God through him. For if while we were enemies, we were reconciled to God through the death of his Son, much more, having been reconciled, we shall be saved by his life." So this verse is saying that while, going back to the first verse I read, we're all sinners, we've all fallen short of the glory of God, we all deserve to go to hell. But this verse is saying that Christ, God's own Son, came down to earth and died for us who are sinners. So it's saying one would hardly die for a righteous man. Like if you're walking down the street, you see someone that you really look up to, say, you know, maybe it's your dad or your mom or your brother or sister or some personality that so many people know about, and like he's just like the top guy, like Keanu Reeves or something. Like you're probably not gonna, you're hardly gonna die for that person. You know, like if someone's aiming a gun, the chances of you jumping in front of that bullet are pretty low. And they're even lower for just a good man. Like you see some dad walking with his family, that guy's probably a good guy, and you see someone aiming a bullet at him, you're probably not aiming a gun at him, you're probably not going to jump in front of that bullet. And if you see someone like, you know, Hitler walking around, some evil person with a gun, there's zero chance you're jumping in front of that bullet, you know. But Christ came down from heaven that while we were still sinners, while we still hated him and everything that he loves, we were enemies with him. He came, he died for all of us so that we could be saved and find reconciliation and salvation through him. And all you have to do is believe in him and put your trust in him for salvation. Are you going to click away from this video and go keep scrolling and go on with your life? Or are you going to put your faith in Jesus and have eternal security in him? It's a question that is going to be answered by you, and you're going to face God. I would do it now instead of once you die and there's no going back. That's all for today.